Good morning, everyone. I am so happy to see you again. We still have snow, plus it's bitterly cold here. To warm up, I think we should clean up the music room today. And as a reward for that job, we are going to make my super fragrant Earl Gray tea cookies. And we can enjoy the cookies for afternoon tea. So let's head into the music room. When I clean a room, I clean it from top to bottom. I like to use a dust mop with a long, extendable handle to dust the papered walls and the ceiling in this 19th century room. The mop is also great for dusting the room's 2 sets of pocket doors. Before we can dust the chandelier, I first need to replace 2 of its bulbs. In the 19th century, this room was lit with candles and kerosene lamps. The room's window hangings are exact replicas of those that were here nearly 200 years ago. They are easy enough to clean with a cordless handheld vacuum. On to the pianos. I use Murphy's oil soap and a microfiber cloth to clean the Steinway. The other piano in the room is a Yamaha. I use a cleaner that is intended for the Yamaha's glossy finish. Of course, a newly cleaned piano must be played. Once every table has been dusted, I vacuum and mop the floors. I'll admit that the floors are in need of refinishing, but that is a job for another day. I can link all of the cleaning products I'm using in the description below if you are interested. I'm going to call this room clean, and now I am eager to have some Earl Grey tea cookies. The only problem? I'm out of Earl Grey tea. So we need to go to Tierra Farm to pick up the tea. Please take a short drive with me. As most of you already know, Tierra Farm is my favorite source for organic fair trade coffee, tea, nuts, dried fruit, and more. The farm's Earl Grey tea is the most fragrant I have ever encountered. It will be perfect for the cookies we are making today. Then it's on to the local flower shop. I want to buy some colorful tulips that we can place on the tea table. We are home again. I put the flowers we bought in some water over here, and then we will arrange them later. So we are going to make those fabulous Earl Grey tea cookies. They are super fragrant, super delicious, and as you will see, super simple to make. And I need, let's see, 1.5 cups or 195 grams of regular all-purpose flour, and I always weigh out my flour. I will put a link to this recipe in the description below. We're going to make the cookie dough right in this food processor. There's the flour. Then I need a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1 whole tablespoon of Earl Grey tea. This is loose tea. Oh, this is so fragrant. I just love it. And of course, this is the tea that we just bought at Tierra Farm. Then I'm going to pulse the food processor about 10 times just to break up the tea leaves and to mix the flour and the other ingredients. Then we can add 6 tablespoons or 85 grams of softened butter. I'm using unsalted butter here. You could use salted butter if you like. And a 1/2 cup or 100 grams of sugar. Pop the lid on. And I'm going to pulse again about 10 times. I used to use both the food processor and my stand mixer to make these cookies. And then one day I got wise and decided, why not make the whole batch right in the food processor? And it worked out perfectly. Now I want a 1/2 teaspoon or so of pure vanilla extract. This is the extract that you and I made together in a previous video. And very important ingredient is 1 teaspoon or a splash of rose water. Of course, this has to be food grade rose water. And lastly, I need 1 large egg. I will pulse this machine about 5 times, and then I will let the machine run steadily until a cohesive dough forms. That won't take but 30 seconds or so. And our Earl Grey tea cookie dough is made. Now I need a couple of sheets of parchment. I'm going to scoop the cookie dough onto the parchment. And here's one of the neat aspects of this food processor cookie dough recipe is you can roll the dough between 2 sheets of parchment. You do not have to chill the dough first. And I want to roll this to a thickness of about 1/8 of an inch. And to avoid getting creases in the dough, I simply flip the parchment over every now and then. I can see all of the beautiful specks of Earl Grey tea in this dough. Looks like poppy seeds. Well, I would say this is about 1/8 of an inch thick. I can throw this onto a baking tray. And then I need to chill the dough in the freezer for 15 minutes. And while the dough is chilling, I'm going to clean up my workstation, and then we can arrange these tulips. I think I want to add some boxwood stems to this tulip arrangement. So I'm not even going to put my coat on. I have boxwood right outside my back door. I like to lay old landscape fabric down when I work with flowers, just to avoid making a mess. Actually, I still make a mess, but the landscape fabric makes it easy to clean everything up. Floral preservative. This is some greenery that I bought at the florist shop. It was not expensive, and unfortunately, I forgot to ask them the name. It's sort of a sage-colored, well, the leaves are sage-colored. I maybe didn't even need the boxwood cuttings. There seems to be quite a lot of this florist greenery here. And if you know what the name of this green stem is, please drop me a note in the comments below. Still, in my world, you can never have too many greens in a flower arrangement. Now these are double flowered tulips in a gorgeous shade of purple. Well, I think this looks spectacular, and it will look even more spectacular once the petals have fully opened. Let me clean up, and then we can cut out the cookies. And here is my frozen cookie dough. Now I'm going to gently pull off the top sheet of parchment and reuse it as a liner for my baking tray. And then I want to loosen the bottom sheet of parchment just to make the cookies easy to remove after I've cut them out. The bit of air that's created now between the dough and the parchment will make the cookies easy to pull out. So now we can cut out our cookies. I'm going to use a 2-inch diameter cookie cutter, and I'm dipping it in flour so that it won't stick to the dough. And frozen cookie dough is very easy to cut out. I like to space the cookies about 1 inch or maybe 1.5 inches apart from each other. Now you could glaze these cookies after you bake them if you wish. I don't do that because I like people to see the little specks of Earl Gray tea. Now I can re-roll these scraps. We need to let these cookies chill in the freezer for 15 minutes. And while that's happening, I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius. You don't have to bake all of your cookies all at once. You can freeze them for up to 3 months unbaked. But I am going to bake all of mine right now, about 16 minutes or until the edges of the cookies look dry. Now these cookies will brown a bit on the bottom, but they don't brown much on top. And boy, they smell just incredible. Would you believe that my dog actually loves Earl Gray cookies? She is a very strange dog. I mean, we all know that she loves bacon and chicken. Uh-oh. She's perking up her ears at all of those keywords, but she also loves Earl Grey cookies, which means she has a superior sense of taste. Even though these cookies are still pretty hot, I can't resist tasting one. And as you can see, the bottoms do brown lightly. These cookies have a crispy edge and they are soft in the center. Of course, if you want them crisp throughout, you just bake them for an extra minute or two. Now these cookies will firm up more as they cool. I'm going to let mine cool completely, and then we can get started on some tea sandwiches. Before we make the sandwiches, I want to bake off some of the scones that you and I made in a previous episode. I can link the scone recipe in the description below. These are scones that I froze unbaked. And all I have to do is give them a little egg wash. And I think I will do just 4 scones because there's only 2 of us for afternoon tea today. These are the eggs that you and I bought together at Kinderhook Farm. I think it was last week. Very pretty eggs. Demerara sugar to give the tops a little crunch. So these go into a 375 degree Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius oven until the scones have browned and puffed. That will take from 12 to 15 minutes. And for the sandwiches, I'm doing chicken with cranberry sauce. And the first thing I need to do is butter each slice of bread because the butter acts as a sealant to mitigate any sogginess. In other words, butter seals the bread so that moisture won't seep through. For the chicken filling, I simply took a rotisserie chicken breast, shredded it, and then I mixed it with some softened cream cheese, and I added salt and pepper. There's so many different sandwich fillings we can use for tea sandwiches, and I have made many variety of tea sandwiches. So if you go to my YouTube homepage, just click on the picture of me. That will take you to the homepage. I have a playlist called Afternoon Tea, and you can see all the different things that I have made for afternoon tea. Here's the cranberry. Decided we should have some bib lettuce on these sandwiches. And just to make the sandwiches look pretty, I do cut off the crusts. And I always cut off the crust after I have filled the sandwiches, simply because I want the sandwiches to have a clean edge. These scraps will not go to waste. I will enjoy them for a midnight snack. I'm not ready to serve these sandwiches just yet, so I will keep them fresh and wonderful in the refrigerator between 2 damp kitchen towels. Then we can cover the sandwiches with another damp kitchen towel. And these towels are just barely damp. And the moisture in the towels will stop the bread from drying out in the refrigerator. Otherwise, the bread would become dry and the edges would start to curl up. I will put these in the refrigerator, and then we can check on our scones. These scones look and smell just fabulous. I'm going to let these cool to room temperature. In the meantime, we can bring in some firewood and start a fire in the parlor. I have a special announcement to make. While we were at Tierra Farm earlier today, the director there asked me if I wanted them to put together another Kevin Lee Jacobs Valentine's Day gift box. And I said, why not? So they had me select a few, or actually more than a few, of my favorite things for the box. Here's what's in it. The recipe for my fragrant Earl Gray tea cookies. And of course there's Earl Grey tea in here too. Plus organic cocoa dusted almonds. I bought these several months ago from the farm and immediately fell in love with them. Maybe I'll try 1 or 2 of them for you. Organic dried mango. Now, Lizette and I have fallen in love with this dried mango. It's great for snacking. It's great for chewing while you're watching TV. Absolutely delicious. A 70% Bolivian dark chocolate bar. You could use this for baking or just for snacking. Organic dark chocolate chips. These are the chocolate chips I use when we make the chocolate orange cookies. We made those cookies at Christmas time, if you want to watch that video. Of course, they're great for just regular chocolate chip cookies. And because so many of you asked for it, they have made up another big batch of the KLJ coffee blend. This is the best coffee, and it was available at Christmas time, but only for a short period. So it is available now for a short period. And here is the jar, perfectly wrapped, of the super fragrant Earl Grey tea. This is loose tea. and it is the tea that we used in today's Earl Grey tea cookies. I think this would make a very nice Valentine's Day gift, either for yourself or for someone you love. The farm told me that if you want to order this gift box, you really need to do so before February 7th, just to ensure that you will receive it by Valentine's Day. And besides a big discount for the box, you will also receive free shipping. And I will put a link to this box and to the free shipping code in the description box below. Now let me put this away, and then we can assemble our afternoon tea. So let's arrange our sandwiches on this three-tiered stand. And we can put our scones on the middle tier. And here is some mascarpone, which will easily substitute for clotted cream. And here is some apricot preserves. And of course, we need a spoon for the preserves and the clotted cream, or rather the mascarpone. And here are the Earl Grey tea cookies that we made earlier. And continuing with our Earl Grey cookie theme, I'm going to serve Earl Grey tea with this afternoon tea. Let's head into the parlor. I never put cream or sugar in my Earl Grey tea. Let's have a sip. Oh, I love this tea. Lizette will be joining me. She's behind the camera right now. Let's have a sandwich. Delicious. I love the combination of chicken and cream cheese and cranberry. Scone with, instead of clotted cream, mascarpone and peach preserves. I often make my own clotted cream, but not for today. I took the easy route. And finally, yet another cookie, an Earl Grey tea cookie. These cookies are even suitable for dunking into tea. I should probably mention that Earl Grey tea gets its awesome citrus aroma from the rind of the bergamot orange. And when bergamot is combined with rose water, the scent and the flavor is, well, it's indescribably wonderful. Thank you so much for spending time with me today as we cleaned the music room, We shopped for and arranged flowers. We shopped at Tierra Farm. We created a gorgeous Valentine's Day gift box, courtesy of Tierra Farm. And we made this lovely afternoon tea. I must be the luckiest guy in the world because I get to spend time with you. And speaking of Valentine's Day, in upcoming episodes, we will make some romantic dinners. Also, we need to start planting seeds indoors for the summer season. And be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of those episodes. And until then, please treat yourself very well, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now, friends.